You'll be able to see us standing now. Okay, so let me chop that.
Okay, ready?
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We'll get started soon, so thanks for being here. I put a Spotify playlist in the description of this video, so if anybody wants some music in the background while they're doing yoga, that's there for you. It's kind of just like background yoga-ish music. Some of it has lyrics and stuff, but so if you want to click on that, you can listen to that today. But I will have nothing playing here, so. Back just a little bit. Let's see what. All right, we got about a minute or two, so we'll get started soon.
Who's here? If you can chat, chat. Hello, Christine. Happy birthday. Everyone should wish Christine a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Christine. What an exciting way to spend a birthday. Okay, there's about 6 of us in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started, just so we're all ready. So we'll start class today just laying on our backs. So find any comfortable way laying on your back that you can. Really just allow your body to get as heavy as it can on the mat there. Just really feeling the body just sink in. And bringing all of your quarantine energy right here to laying flat. And as the distractions of the mind start to come about, simply let them drift away. Really trying to draw yourself back inside. Inside the body and inside the mind. Observing everything as it is. Your next inhale, just gently let the arms come up by the ears, reaching behind you. Just to kind of get a little stretch there, lengthening the body long. And then just a simple exhale, squeezing the knees into the chest. And then allowing those knees to just soften to the right. Arms can open to the side, just a little spinal twist here to get the body moving subtly. Gently letting the knees pass through the center. And then dropping to the left, head can twist to the right. And then allow the knees to come back into the middle, placing the feet flat on the floor, heels close to the hips there. About hip distance apart is okay. And then arms down by the side as you inhale, press into the heels, into the feet so the hips start to rise upward for a bridge pose here. Just starting to feel a little power in the legs. And then maybe starting to find that breath, breathing a little bit deeper. That inhale, expanding the ribs wide, the belly really filling up like a balloon. And then as you exhale, starting to squeeze those muscles to push every drop of air out. Good. Keeping that breath now a little longer, a little stronger, maybe even making some sound like ocean waves. Just about 5 more breaths here each inhale, trying to lift up just a little higher, pushing deeper and stronger into the legs, feeling those thighs starting to fire up. Good. One more big inhale to lift as high as you can. And then exhale, gently soften back down to the mat, squeezing the knees into the chest. And then rocking forward and back until you come to tabletop pose. Hands and knees, shoulders right over the wrists there, knees right under the hips, and then just a few cat and cows here. So dropping that belly down as you inhale, the collarbone shines up to the sky, and then exhale, press really round through the spine. It's an inhale for a belly drop, heart lifts, eyes look up. Exhale to press and round, really squeezing the air out. Good, 2 more here, inhale to open. Exhale to close. Inhale, that opening there, really feeling the length through the shoulders and the heart as you look up. And then exhale, really deep pressing round into the spine. Good. Then coming to downward facing dog on your next exhale. The heels really dripping down to the mat there. You can pedal through the knees just to try to feel that length in the legs. Hands spread open and wide there. Neck is relaxed and long, so you can shake the head yes or no, and you're looking between the knees or thighs. The breath still deep, belly engaged and sucked in. Good. As you inhale, lift up to your tippy toes, look towards your hands, and then make your way to the front of your yoga mat. Just dangling here for a moment. You can grab opposite elbows, or keep those fingers lengthening to the floor. Releasing the hands down as you inhale, lift up halfway, look up and out, and then exhale to melt back into the fold. And then inhale, stand all the way up, raise your arms nice and high, and then exhale, side bend over to the right, catching that wrist to really pull the body over. Inhale through the center, exhale to take it over to the left. Inhale back to the center, the chin lifts up and back for a small back bend, and then exhale to dive forward, reaching for the toes. Inhale, half lift to look up, find some length. And then exhale, step back to the top of your push-up, plank pose, 5 deep breaths here. In through the nose as you push strong into the hands. Really feeling the core engaged here, not letting those hips sag down low or lift up too high. 3 more breaths. Big inhale through the nose. And then squeezing the elbows in, chaturanga yoga push-up there. Flip the toes, heart opens, up dog or cobra, looking towards the sky. And then exhale to downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. Just observing the body here. Feeling all of it starting to energize and wake up in this practice. And then I'll lift up to the tippy toes, look to the hands, and then make your way to the front of the yoga mat. Half lift as you inhale. Exhale to soften. Inhale, lifting up all the way, arms reach high, and then those side bends over to the right. Inhale through the center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale back through the center, a little back bend as you look up, and then exhale to dive forward, melting down. Half lift as you inhale, look up and out, and then exhale, plant the hands, step back, and then lower right into that push-up. Toes flip, heart opens, up dog. Exhale, 3 rounds of breath here. Downward facing dog. Inhale up to the tippy toes, look to the hands, and then exhale, step or float to the front of the mat. Half lift takes you a little bit of length, and then you soften back down. Stand all the way up, last round, sun salutation, letter A. Exhale, side bends. Inhale through the center. Exhale to the left. Back through the center, chin lifts, little back bend, and then exhale, dive forward. Half lift. Exhale to take it back, chaturanga. Heart opens as you inhale, and exhale to downward dog. Your next inhale up to the tippy toes, and then exhale to the front of the mat. Half lift. Exhale, soften the heart down, and then the hips sink back into chair pose, Utkatasana, arms lifting up high. That pelvis is tucked, so the belly is zipped up tight and squeezed. Arms lengthening to the sky. Thighs squeezing inward there, and then really trying to root into the heels as the hips shift lower into the chair. Eyes can try to look past your hands. Good. Big breath in. And then as you exhale, the right arm swings down and back for a little chair twist to look to the right. Inhale to pass through the center. Exhale, taking it to the left. And then inhale back through the center. As you exhale, straighten the legs, lengthen down for that forward fold. Half lift to look up. And then exhale, make your way to downward dog. You can always just take the hips straight back if you want to skip the push-up. Right toes will lift up high to the sky here. As you exhale, crunch the right knee to the right elbow. Good. As you inhale, draw that knee to the nose. So it just comes right to the center line. And then as you exhale, just try to place the foot down without making any sound into your lunge there. Inhale the arms up, spin the back heel down, warrior one. Eyes lifting and looking high. Good, dropping the hips nice and low. Feeling those hips squaring off a little to the front so that right hip is pulling backward, deepening the lunge down. Breathing into the sensations here. Each exhale sinks you lower into your lunging shape. One more breath in through the nose, and then as you exhale, open the arms to a strong T, warrior two. The hips maybe drop a little lower here as they open to the side, and then like a game of tug of war, lengthening the arms in 2 directions as the shoulders press down away from the ears. Eyes look over the right fingers, and the bend in that right knee gets a little bit stronger. The left hand starts to lower, maybe even cross behind the back as the right fingers reach behind you, reverse warrior. And then as you inhale, feel some length reaching through those fingers, and then exhale, more bend in the front knee. So that pulling in 2 directions, the fingers lengthen as you breathe in, the knee drops and bends as you drop into that lunging shape for one more big inhale. Exhale, both hands inside the right foot for a lizard lunge. Keeping the back knee lifted for now. Pushing into the hands, so there's some strength there, but starting to feel the hip. And then as you exhale next, start to lower to the forearms, and you can soften the back knee, taking a more restorative, passive posture here. As you inhale, come up to the hands. Exhale, right leg steps back. Take a vinyasa here. Make your way to downward facing dog. From your down dog, the left toes will start to lengthen up to the sky. Exhale, rock forward, left knee to left elbow. As you inhale, bring it up into the center. And then exhale, gently step the foot down, seal the back heel, come into that warrior one. Hips nice and low, arms reaching long, pulling that left hip back so you can deepen the lunge. Fingers lengthening high, chin lifted, looking past the hands. Breathing in. Exhale, open to warrior two. Big strong T with the arms, the fingers reaching in both directions. The shoulders pressing down away from the ears. Belly lifted up and engaged. Right arm starts to lower as you take that reverse warrior here. Left arm up and back. Reaching and lengthening. Breathing in for more side bend and then exhaling to drop into that lunge a little lower. 2 more breaths. Good. Exhale to bring the hands inside the foot here, an active lizard lunge. So the hands pushing into the mat. Back knee is lifted and engaged as the hips drop down into the shape. And then an exhale to soften down to the forearms maybe. The back knee can lower to the mat. Feeling that hip stretch here. Inhale up to the hands. Exhale, chaturanga. Make your way to down dog. We'll take that sequence again here. So the right toes will lift high to the sky. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. As you inhale, suck it up, pull that knee up towards the nose, and then exhale, step the foot down, coming up, warrior one, back heel seals to the mat. Arms lifting high, hips dropping low. Big breath in. Exhale, open to warrior two, arms expanding, big T. Hips maybe sinking just a little bit deeper. And then as you inhale, start to reach to the back of the room here. Back arm crosses behind the back or left arm to the thigh. One more big inhale for length. And then as you exhale, hands come inside the right foot. Exhale to lower down to the forearms. Then an extra breath just for feeling good in the hip. Inhale up to the hands. Exhale, chaturanga. Make your way to downward facing dog. The left toes lift high now. Exhale, crunch it in, knee to elbow. Inhale, draw it up even higher to the nose. And then as you exhale, quietly step the foot. Back heel rotates down, arms lift high, warrior one. Exhale, open to warrior two. Really feel those hips dropping into the shape. Reverse warrior on your inhale, reaching towards the back of the room. Big side body stretch. Exhale down to the hands. Good. Your next exhale takes you deeper into the lunge, onto the forearms. When you're ready, up to the hands on an inhale, then exhale, chaturanga. One more time, right and left, all the way back, down dog. Right toes lift on the inhale. Exhale, it squeezes to the elbow. Inhale, suck it up towards the knee, and then exhale, step the foot down, warrior one. Exhale to warrior two. Inhale, it's that reverse warrior reaching behind you. Exhale, bring the hands down inside that right foot. One big breath in before you exhale down to the forearms. Your next inhale, up to the hands, stepping back, taking your vinyasa here. Left toes high to the sky. Exhale to the elbow. Inhale, pulling it higher to the nose, and then stepping the foot down, back heel seals. Arms come up, warrior one, inhale. Exhale to warrior two. Inhale, reach to the back of the room. And then exhale, bring the hands down inside the foot. Big breath in before you exhale down to the forearms. Inhale up to the hands and then making your way to downward facing dog. When you're ready, rocking forward to the hands there for plank pose. Pushing deep and strong into your hands there, looking maybe just a few inches past the front edge of your mat so the neck is long. 3 more breaths here all together. Then as you exhale, lower down halfway and hold for 3 breaths. Holding there, 3 breaths into that low chaturanga, holding. Squeezing those elbows in, belly's engaged. One more big inhale. And exhale. As you inhale, press all the way up back to the top of that push-up plank pose there. 2 more breaths. Trying to shift the perspective of your mind into I can't, but I will statements. I will hold this. Breathing in. Exhale, it drops all the way down to the belly there. Belly flop onto the mat. Good. Leave the chest down on the mat here. Take the hands down by your sides. We'll just take a little Shalabhasana, a heart-opening shape here. So the thighs will start to squeeze together and the shoulders and chin lift up off the mat. Maybe the toes even start to lift too. Your body starts to look like the little smile of an Amazon box. So pushing into the fingernails there to help you lift up just a little bit higher for 3 more breaths. Good. 1 more big inhale to lift as high as you can, and then exhale to soften back down. You can keep the hands there, or if you'd like, you can take them out to the side like the letter T. So when you're ready, this will be a little more challenging here because you're adding that extra weight out to the side in the arms. As you inhale, start to lift up. Same shape, maybe just a different position of the arms. Loading up as high as you can. Again, those inhales lifting you up for 3 more rounds of breath. Trying to inch as high as you can on every inhale. Like an airplane flying through the sky. 1 more big breath in, lift, 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 and then an exhale to soften back down. You can take the arms down by the sides or out like a T, or if you want to feel super fancy, you can reach in front of you like Superman, fingers reaching out past the front edge of the mat. When you're ready, it's an inhale to start to lift the body up. Breathing here into the sensations, maybe the pain or the joy, whatever starts to lift and rise as you breathe in a little bit more to lift up. 2 more breaths. Last big breath in to lift as high as you can, and then exhale, soften back down to the mat. Taking the hips all the way back to child's pose here. A nice round of the low back. Softening into this shape. In any position of the arms here is okay. Just a chance to turn back inward. You're ready, coming up to the hands and knees for tabletop pose. You'll start by lengthening the right toes behind you, keeping the toes on the mat though. So the right leg straightens, you're still on that left knee. You'll rotate that right heel down to the mat. You can shift that left foot so that you come into a modified side plank pose here. Good. You can take the arms, reaching the fingers up towards the sky as you press down through the left hand here, really pushing strong and supporting yourself more in the hand than you are in the knee. And then maybe swim that arm up and over, looking past the fingers. So it's one long line of energy from the fingers to the toes here in this modified side plank. Good. Breathing into that shape there. Swims up and over, getting a big side body stretch now the other direction. On your next exhale, the left hand comes back down to the mat into that modified side plank pose. Big breath to open those wings wide, and then exhale, bring the right hand down. Keep that right leg long, maybe even lift it up off the mat. Curl the left toes under. And can you come straight into a three-legged dog without letting the right toes touch? So really push into that left heel, starting to feel the right toes lifting high, three-legged dog. And then go ahead and bend that knee so that the hip can start to open. You can also let the shoulder open here just to feel some opening and twisting. And then can you slowly press that right shoulder down, but keep the opening of the hip there. So really feeling now just the rotation from the hips opening. As you exhale, step the right foot gently between the hands, coming up into a crescent lunge. It's a low lunging shape. The back heel is lifted up off the mat. Big, strong bend in the front knee and the arms reaching up. Good. The belly is zipped up nice and tight. Eyes looking up towards the sky. As you exhale, bow forward for a thunderbolt position. Arms swing down by the sides. Chest leans forward, maybe even shifting that weight a little bit more into that right lunging leg. And then the back heel seals down to the mat. Right leg straightens, coming into a sky archer pose. The right arm swings up and over, catching that right wrist with the left hand to pull back so you get a big stretch through the side body. And then as you exhale, it tips over to the right for Trikonasana, triangle pose. The right fingers will reach for the big toe, the ankle, the shin, maybe the mat. The left arm lengthening up to the sky here. Really thinking about those hips squaring, so push the right hip forward as the left hip starts to float backwards so that there's a big rotation and opening through the ribs. If you're wiggling or wobbling, you can look down at the mat, or you can challenge the balance by looking up to the sky. As you inhale, it's up to a 5-pointed star here, facing the side of your yoga mat, reaching out all directions. And then as you exhale, it's a prayer twist to the back of your yoga mat. So the right elbow will hook onto the left knee. It's a big twisting shape, pressing those hands together. Pushing so much with the left hand that the hands start to align in the center of the chest. And that rotation carries through the neck as the eyes look past that top elbow. Really feeling the lower the hips down into that lunging shape just a little bit more. Exhale to look down towards the mat. The left finger shift in front of the left toes for a half moon pose here. So it's a balancing pose on one leg. Pushing down strong like the trunk of a tree with that left leg as the right leg takes its energy towards the front of the mat. Your arms are lengthening like big wings, fingers rooting down into the ground and then lengthening up towards the sky. Really trying to open up the body here so that it faces the side of the room. And then if you need that stability and balance, look down towards the mat. If you want a challenge there, you can look up towards the top arm. Starting to bend that back leg so that the heel comes towards the bum. The top arm starts to reach back for that foot. Trying to catch on here just for a little variation in the arms, a little bind. Trying still to balance on that standing leg. Once you catch hold, maybe try to kick the energy into your hand so that it starts to open up along the front right side of the body there. And then can you keep that energy kicking into the hand as you start to square the hips down towards the mat. Left fingers are still touching. And then when you're ready, it's an inhale to start to let them lift up off the ground into that dancer's pose. A big stretch through the heart, through the throat. And then as you exhale, take both hands down to the mat for standing splits. Standing splits for 5 deep breaths here. 5 deep breaths to really lengthen those toes up to the sky. Feel that opening here. Fingers just gently resting on the floor, maybe even wrapping behind the leg. And then the eyes looking behind you towards the front edge of your mat or the wall that's on the front side of the mat. Good. Placing both hands down now on the floor. Even if you don't have handstands in your practice, try to find the muscles it takes just to hop the foot up, even if it's just a centimeter. So just a couple little hippity hops here. Just finding those tummy muscles, those arm muscles. Just a few more opportunities here. And then when you're ready, you can step the feet back and make your way to downward facing dog, facing the back of your yoga mat. And then from your downward dog, lowering into that tabletop position, so hands and knees. In the back of the mat, it's the left toes now that start to lengthen behind you. So really lengthening those toes out, shifting the knee. The left arm comes up like big wings, spreading wide here. Maybe even swimming that arm all the way up and over so you can look past the fingers towards the back of the room. Starting to lift the upper body up, weight into the knee as you stretch the other direction here. Big side body stretch. Right hand comes down to the mat. Feel those wings on the inhale. Exhale, the left hand comes down. Keep the back toes long behind you. Maybe lifting that leg up off the ground, up into that 3-legged dog. Good. Just a few breaths here, bending the knee to open the hip and start by opening the shoulder as well. Really feeling that opening there. And then as you exhale, start to drop that left shoulder down, squaring it to the mat. Quietly stepping that foot between the hands, coming into that crescent lunge there. Big low lunge, arms lifting high, eyes looking towards the sky. Hips are dropping into the shape here so that that left knee is really bent. Maybe even a little shaking in the thigh. And then when you're ready, bowing forward, arms come down by the sides for that thunderbolt. Chest is leaning forward, a little more weight now in that leg so you can bend the knee and drop the hips in that lunge a little deeper. The back heel starts to seal down to the mat. Left leg straightens, sky archer pose. Left arm comes up, really pulling on the wrist there. The legs are activated here. Thigh bones pulling in, the feet pressing apart. Exhale to tip it over to the left. Trikonasana, triangle pose. The left fingers towards the big toe, ankle, shin. Right fingers reaching up to the sky there. And then really feeling those hips starting to square by pressing the left hip forward. Float that right hip back so that the ribs start to twist up towards the sky. Using the breath to keep you balanced and steady. Inhale up to that 5-pointed star. Energy shooting out in all directions. And then it's an exhale to the front of the mat there. Prayer twist. It's the left elbow on the right knee. Really feeling that rotation here. Pushing down with the right hand. Trying to get the hands to line up with the center of the chest through that deep rotation. Looking up past the right elbow. Can you sink in for 2 more breaths? Just a little bit deeper. Exhale to look down to the mat. Right fingers right in front of those right toes. Coming up for that half moon pose. Really pressing into the supporting leg there. The back leg kicking its energy behind you. And then the left fingers floating up towards the sky. Again, looking down at the yoga mat for stability and balance. And then you can challenge that by trying to look up towards the sky. Feeling the expanse of the arms here in both directions, and then the rooting through that standing supporting leg. Bending that back knee so the heel comes towards the bum, reaching for the foot. Trying to catch on for that bind there. And then maybe kicking that energy into the hand once you grab hold so that you feel that opening in the front side of the body. As you exhale, start to square the hips down towards the mat. So the left hip starts to float down and forward. And then gently starting to let those right fingers become light so that you can lift off for that dancer's pose. Finding that balance there, continuing to root into the supporting leg. Three more big deep breaths. And then as you exhale, the hands come down to the mat for standing splits. Left toes reaching up towards the sky. About 5 breaths here to feel the lengthening there, the strength of that leg lifting up, the belly engaged and squeezed. And hands on the mat or grab behind the calf. Trying to look behind you so that the back of the neck is long. 2 more breaths. Playtime here, hands planted on the floor, trying to find a few hops here just to find the muscles that it would take to kick up to a handstand. And just a couple hippity hops. And when you're ready, make your way to downward facing dog. You can take that chaturanga or just simply take the hips up and back. Step the right foot between the hands here, coming into dragonfly twist. Right foot between the hands. The right arm will reach up nice and high there. You can start with the back knee down, but really feel that left hand supporting you strong in this shape so that the push really creates more length and more reach through that top arm as it lengthens to the sky. And then curl the toes and let that back knee start to lift up off of the mat. Trying to lower the hips down into this lunging shape as that left hand really pushes down away from the mat, supporting you here. So much so that those right toes start to become light. And gently stepping that right foot back for Vashisthasana side plank here. Our last little push of class, feeling those hips now strong, trying to lift them up. Don't let them start to sag down. Energize the hips, lifting them up, pushing into the hand, right fingers lengthening tall. For 3 more breaths here, all together. Using this as a lesson of strength, determination. One more big breath in. As you exhale, step that right foot forward back into that lizard lunge. And then letting the arms come inside the right foot, lowering down. When you're ready, it's an inhale up to the hands, stepping back. Take a vinyasa here, or straight to down dog. This time it's the left foot that steps forward here. Dragonfly twist, right hand down next to the left foot. Lengthening of those wings. You can start by softening the knee down just to start to feel the rotation. Pushing into the right hand there. Really twisting through the ribs from the hips, lengthening the left arm up nice and high. The back knee starts to float up. As you start to shift more weight into that supporting arm. The toes start to become light. And then you gently step back for Vashisthasana side plank. Letting those hips energize up as you press strong into the hand. Big wide wings, starting to feel the quivers and shakes that come up in the body. Finding your strength here for 2 more big deep breaths. One more big inhale. And exhale. Hands come down, stepping forward, coming into a lizard lunge there. Both hands inside the left foot. Maybe even softening down to the forearms. Your last vinyasa here, step the feet back. Take a chaturanga. Inhale on the up dog to release. Exhale to squeeze the air out. Inhale up to the tippy toes, look between the hands, and then jump through to a seated position. Flex the toes here, sitting up nice and tall. Bring the hands down by your side, Dandasana. Just sitting up with a tall spine here, pushing into the mat. The chin will start as you inhale, lifting up. And then exhale, tuck that chin in. Feeling the belly engaged here, the legs long, the feet pulling back, the toes towards you. Really strong, energizing the whole body in this shape. The whole body engaged here for 2 more breaths. And then as you inhale, start to reach the arms up high to the sky. Look past your hands, and then exhale, fold forward. Grabbing on wherever you can, and just gently pulling here for just a couple breaths. So there's a little bit of active stretch here. We'll release in a second, so it's passive, but pulling in for 3 more deep breaths. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, release, taking the hands behind the hips, fingers pointed towards the bum. You can bend the knees and place the feet on the floor or keep them long. And then as you inhale, come up for a reverse plank pose here. Trying to lengthen the body, feeling a little bit of a counter stretch from that forward fold. 5 more deep breaths. Each inhale lifting you up, maybe even letting the chin fall away from the chest so that the eyes can look behind you. 3 more breaths. Good. Inhale, lift it up just a little bit more. Exhale, slowly let the hips come back down to the mat. Lengthen the legs out long. And this time, crawling the hands forward. No need to pull this time because we'll hang out for about a minute or two. Just let the upper body soften over the legs, melting into the sensations. If the desire to come up and out starts to arise, try to shift your thinking, telling yourself that you can stay here just a little bit longer. See what this moment might be trying to bring to your awareness. About 30 more seconds. Inhale to gently crawl yourself up and out of this shape. Rolling down onto the back, squeezing the knees into the chest. Gently rocking side to side or drawing small circles with the knees. Planting the feet flat on the floor. We'll take another bridge pose here. Take any variation that you need. We'll do 2 of them. So as you inhale, start to lift the hips up nice and high. Countering those deep forward folds. And then when you're ready, gently softening back down. Another opportunity here to let the hips lift up off of the mat. Finding that bridge pose. 2 more rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, softening back down. Straightening the legs, lifting the toes up towards the sky. We'll just take a little bit of a inversion of the toes here, letting the blood kind of flow the opposite direction, relieving any inflammation or stress or strain you feel in the feet or legs from sitting on the couch all day watching Netflix. You can grab onto the legs if it starts to get uncomfortable, but try to leave them above the rest of the body here for maybe the only time they get above, become the highest point. You can also start to take those toes back behind the head, preparing for a shoulder stand, catching the low back with the hands, just being aware and mindful of the neck and starting to lengthen the toes up towards the sky. We've got about 5 or 6 more breaths here. So if you want to allow the toes to go past the head there, coming into plow pose, you may, or simply stay wherever you are. Then when you're ready, gently rolling back down to the mat. Squeezing the knees back into the chest, rocking side to side. For any last movements here, it can be a happy baby, a spinal twist. And then when you're ready, you can lengthen the body out nice and long. Letting the hips relax so that the feet flop out to the side edges of the mat. Arms resting down by your sides. The muscles of the face begin to relax. And then taking a scan through your body. Seeing if you're still gripping anywhere. Trying to dissolve that tension with your breath. I'll wake you in a few moments, but try to allow this time for your body's central nervous system to calm itself down after all of that stimulation. The final pose of our class today, Shavasana. Take rest. Taking a big deep breath in through the nose. Let it go. You wiggle the fingers and toes to bring a little movement back into your body. And then gently rolling over to one side, cradling your head in your hands or arms. In any way that's comfortable, finding yourself in a seated meditation. With the eyes closed, sitting up tall, drawing the hands to heart center. Exhale to bow forward, sealing in all of your effort today. Inhale to sit back up. Exhale, allow the eyes to open. Namaste. Thanks, guys. Happy Monday. Isn't that crazy? We'll keep doing this as long as we're all home. So check back. John's teaching tomorrow 9:30. And then Friday we have morning Vinyasa or morning Ashtanga with John. And Friday night I'll do another wine and yin, except I don't think we have any more wine. So we might be drinking vodka or something else. But anyway, drinking and yin will be Friday night. And then there are all of our other teachers from Lifetime. Oh, I'm not allowed to say that. All of our other teachers that we're friends with are teaching online too. So check their accounts. And this class will be up for ever. So you can always come back to it and take it when you're feeling like it. Or if you missed it, you can check it out another time. Thank you guys for being here. Happy birthday, Christine. Bye.